We are all trying to sell something or get someone to buy something, whether it's a child, you're trying to get your children to go to school or go to college or go to the college that you want them to go to, or whether you're a pastor, you're trying to, or a priest or a rabbi, and you're trying to get someone to adopt your religion. You're trying to sell that to them.
Greetings, fellow legacy changers. It's your main man, T-Rev, and it's time to connect good so we can collect good. This is Legacy Connect. So let's go, let's grow.
To be what you meant to be, it's never too late. That timely quote challenged me when I could.
I was on the verge of being fired, stressed out, and what hung in the balance is those 7 kids of mine. They depended on me. My wife depended on me. I have to do this to help you. I see a number of sellers hurting. They're on a pip. They're frustrated. Their boss is riding them. They're stressed out. They too are about to be fired. One seller was even going blind right in front of me because of the stress that a migraine brought on, that she couldn't hit her quota. And she too had some kids. And I looked at her, and by this time I was winning, making revenue, making bank, excelling, indispensable at my company. And I knew I could help her, but I wasn't her trainer. Man, and she was the hurt in her. I said, I'm going to do something about it. And that's what you're getting right now. It's your main man, T-Rev. And there are many of you who are out there who are feeling those pains. You call yourself a seller. I call you a communicator, because selling is just a part of communication. I'm going to tell you something right now. People hate to be sold, but they love to buy. Look at anyone who wants to go shopping. And you need to share this with all of your colleagues. You need to share this with people who aren't sellers, because you will master not just communication, but you will master connecting, which creates successful communication, which creates revenue, which creates promotions, raises, and makes you indispensable. But there's a few things that you have to do today, so you stick with me. Stick with your boy, T-Rev, and I'll let you know who I am in a minute. But in order to win in this life, at your job, you need to find your W's. The first thing people say is, hey, you need to find your why. And you do. It may be overused, but I call it the W's. You need to find the why, the who, and the what. So let's check this in. I mentioned my kids when I was going through. My boss said, we need to effing fire his ASS. I'm a good guy. Try never to curse. And when he said effing, that F didn't stand for friendly. It was another 4-letter word. Man, I got scared, but I got mad. But my mindset wasn't right, and we'll talk about that. But the first thing that got me going and for the change is my kids. I lost my mother at a very young age. She was taken from me in a very horrific way at the hands of another person. I lost my father when he was at a young age. He was 48, I was 30. And I look back and I said, my father gave me a lot of good advice. My mom gave me some great advice before she was taken. I don't remember what their voices really sound like. I don't have the cell phone, this thing here. No, none of that was around back in 83, 84, when she was taken. So I said, I want to leave my children my voice, a legacy. And that's how you get Legacy Connect selling. That's how you get legacy changers, this empire that I'm building for you. I want them to know and leave that legacy forward, not behind, so that they can grow, that they can be different, that they can connect and network, be wealthy, leave their children's children money, if you will. Know God, be close, have a great, strong spirit. And so I'm saying all this because you will get my best. The reason why you will grow is because this information I'm leaving, I have a big why. It's for some kids of mine. And last time I checked, we don't give our children the worst of us. At least us good parents. We give them the best. We want the best for them. We want better for them than we had. Sometimes we enable and spoil. So you got some good advice coming. Throughout this entire series, I'm going to have people coming on. We're going to be talking about the art of connecting, because it's a superpower of mine that took me to the top and will take you to the top. So let's jump in these W's. Let's jump into these W's. I don't want to belabor this, but you need to find that why, and you got to keep it in front of you. Why am I doing this? Why I'm at this job? Why will I keep fighting? Then the other W is who. Who am I doing it for? My why is the legacy. My family had a horrific name. The Carter name was just horrific. Just stood for crime, drug abuse, alcohol abuse, murder in our family, single parenthood. I had to change that legacy. Why? Who? My children, my wife, my brothers, my extended family. I'm going to be that patriarch. I'm going to lead us to the promised land and set that example. Then you got the what. What am I willing to do to change, to grow, become a better executive, a better seller, a better leader? What's the price I'm willing to pay? That's what you have to ask yourself today. And I know we haven't got into one tactic, but you're not going to do the tactic. You're not going to want to do the what if I don't set this stuff up right for you. So I have this goal to, I mentioned that people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. And when someone's buying from you, there's some trust. They like what they want it or they need it. And many times when we approach someone, I remember I used to sell clothes in a clothing store. I go up, hey, how are you doing today? We're just looking. We're just looking. And I said, man, I got to figure out a tactic. Why do they keep saying that? They didn't want to be sold. They didn't want me thinking about my commission. My approach was off. Quick tip, you retail sellers. I know retail is going, everybody's buying on Amazon and online, but for those of us who still go to malls and work in malls, and you want to break that down, and you want to put some disclaimers. Hey, kind sir. Hey, kind ma'am. I know you are just looking and you don't want to be bothered by me, but check this out. There's some sales. I don't want you losing your money and wasting your money. And I just want to point you out to them. I'll leave you alone. But what brought you in? Is it a big event? What is that you came in for? And maybe I can point you in the right direction. You guys go do your thing. Oh, well, where's the sales at? Oh, they're right over there. Clearance, but we got some really good stuff. Next thing you know, they're coming up to you. Well, how does this look on me? Where's your dressing room? What do you think about this? Where can I find this? Where can I find that? You got to find that way to diffuse, take them from resistance, closed, to being candid and open. And there's a way to do that. So my whole sales system, I'm going to share something with you guys. And the secret, that superpower to connecting on this very first episode. While we're doing this, this sets up the fundamentals. I want you guys to have a foundation. That why, that who, that what, find those things. But let's look at this foundation of how I set up and look at everything, because when I'm teaching you how to not sell, but connect, to get people to buy, to befriend, to trust, to respect your acumen, it's based on human behavior, no gimmicks, no lines. People smell that from a mile away and they don't trust it. It's about being others focused, putting yourself in their shoes. It's about knowing who they are and adapting to who they are, getting out of your comfort zone, and stop trying to approach every single person, every single conversation the exact same way just because it worked a few times with someone else. Sellers only have a 25% closing rate on average nationally. There are 4 behavior styles I'm going to show you here. 4. And we typically sell to the person who has the same behavior style, or what they call a social style, the same one as us. Because there's this like kindred spirits, if you will. You connect quicker, more deeply. So, all right, let me share what I'm talking about, because this is the basis for everything, every single episode, what you'll get out of me. You keep doing this over and over and over, you're going to be amazing. So right now, I'm certified in DISC. I learned, and I'm certified in social styles by Tracom. They're one and the same. Like what I've studied, about 98% the same. And they show the quadrants, the 4 social styles or behaviors. So you can see that social styles right here, it says driver. That's one of the 4 social styles. And on DISC, it says D, or dominance, but some of the traits of the dominance of the D, or decisiveness, is driver. So they share the same word, the same phrases. Now, then you have an expressive person. So if you look at an expressive, that's the same as the I, the influencer, the influencing person, the inspiring person. They're persuasive, inspiring, enthusiastic. So the E equals the I. Don't worry about memorizing all this. The amiable here is the same as the S, the stabilizing. So in DISC, it says the stabilizing social style is amiable, democratic, very patient. Then the C is cautious. Analyticals. Analytical is akin to the C. It's synonymous. You see under cautious, it says the word analytical. So I tend to use the social styles more, though I got certified in both. And just so you guys know some of my background, I have over, 4 decades of selling. Started when I was 15, cold calling record companies. Man, talk about getting through the quote unquote gatekeepers, even though I hate to objectify people and call them that. No management. Just in the last 12 years, I've had over 10,670 hours of pitching. I worked it out on ChatGPT. Proposals, discovery. That's called mastery. Sales mastery, over 10,000 hours. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. I get mentored and go to programs with Eric Thomas, the greatest motivational speaker. He got me certified in DISC, or what he calls the flight assessment. John Maxwell, leadership certified me in DISC. I've been trained by a gentleman named Rory Clark and his selling system. Tons of books. And this is the foundation of my selling system, what I'm showing you here. What I want you to get at when you look at this is powerful, because you need to adapt yourself to each of these social styles to connect with them. Each one of these social styles wants something different, has different interpersonal priorities, different ways that they will feel you, accept you. So when you're dealing with a driver or an analytical, you need to get down to business right away. Cut the fluff talk. Here's the objective, agenda, motive. Let's jump right in. But the driver, that person wants results. He wants you to be very concise. He wants to know the what. What are you going to do? They like to feel in control. It's good to give them options when you're trying to get them to decide on if they want to buy from you or not. And analytical, they want proof. They want you to be accurate. They like the statistics. They want you to give them time to think. You don't want to go in for what you call a hard close. Give them very good information, but not enough to make them go into the weeds. I wouldn't give them options at the end of a sale. And then you have an amiable. What does it say? They want relationships. They like you to support their feelings. They actually want guarantees. A lot of us in this life, especially in digital marketing where I come from, you can't give a guarantee, but you have to give assurance, security. So if you don't know to do that, you're losing that deal. If you don't know how to wrap those things up. And they want to talk about personal things first. So is the expressive person. They don't want to get right down to business. Expressive people want to talk about, they want support for their dreams. They want to know who's involved. They need inspiration during your presentation. They want collaboration. They like testimonials. But here you are flooding the driver with a bunch of testimonials, and he just wants to know the brass tacks. What are you going to do? Give me the facts. Give me the figures. But you keep selling people the same way, and you're losing, and you gave this amazing pitch, what you thought was an amazing pitch, and you lost the deal. Or why everybody needs to know about these social styles as we wrap up, because this foundational piece is because you need to connect, and you need to connect on a deeper level, and you need to get out of your own skin and get out of your own way. You need to be others focused. I mean, I see so many people who communicate so poorly because they're saying, hey, this is me, accept me as I am. This is the way I talk. This is what you get. This is my authentic self, my truth. Man, I'm starting to hate that phrase. What you're going to have is my broke, my little check. I can't close these deals and support my family. There's some what's that I need to do. We'll get into the what part, and we'll get into the who as well on the next episode. I'm gonna close this out because I need you to have full attention with this. But this is the first episode. I wanted to go over some foundational things, my past, my why, who I'm fighting for. And we'll get into the what on the next episode. So you guys just stay with me. And here's what I want to ask. You ask not, you receive not. I'm asking you to subscribe. I'm asking you to click the like button. I'm asking you to share. I'm asking you to tune in order to see something, hear something different, so that you can be better, so that you can grow, so that you can change your legacy, so that you don't have that stress that I talked about at the beginning, so that you can be promoted, so that you can have significance, so you can pat yourself on the back, so you can start winning. You find your W's, you're finding wins in this life. And again, we are all trying to sell something or get someone to buy something, whether it's a child, you're trying to get your children to go to school or go to college or go to the college that you want them to go to, or whether you're a pastor, you're trying to, or a priest or a rabbi, and you're trying to get someone to adopt your religion. You're trying to sell that to them. You ever have someone walk away, you talk to them and they say, I don't buy that. That phrase is powerful. So whether you think you're a seller or not, you are one. Accept it, embrace it, and learn to communicate. Because I was reading this psychology article, and it talked about communication, and it says, and was talking about having successful communications whenever it talked about communication. So I kept thinking, why is it adding success to the word communication? because communication can be a success or it can be a failure. And how you judge it as a success is whether you connected or not. And when you connect with someone, that means they heard you, they ingested what you said, and they digested what you said, and they gave it strong consideration. With an open mind, they were able to be swayed. Whether there was a transaction that took place, did you successfully communicate and get someone to ingest and digest what you just said? Think about this political race that just happened. And we'll talk about the communication side. Anyway, this is the very first one in the hopper. Let's talk about the what on the next episode. We'll dive into that, okay? It's your main man, T-Rev. Call me T-Rev. Stay with me. Let's go. Let's grow. Let's change that legacy.
Changer. I want to be what you meant to be. It's never too late. That timely quote challenged me when I couldn't take. Deferred hopes and dreams in my head turning gray. And God told me tell him about the first 48.